Hi, Anshi Sharma here. Thanks to all of you. Welcome to my new subscribers. Today's topic is expecting perfection from children. Parental identity which people wear seriously. He is not performing well in maths. That girl in the class has scored more in English. That girl is taller. That boy runs faster than you. So and so is better in chess and badminton. That a girl is a better swimmer than you. He so and so is more responsible. Why can't you be? Why can't you do better than them? These are some of the statements our children hear from us nearly every day. When your child is better in sports, then you wish, I wish he was topping in his class. If your daughter is tall, then you wonder, I wish she was a bit shorter. List goes on and on with parental expectations. It just doesn't end even when the parents have become professional, earning well, and left home. This is how many people seriously wear their parental identities. When you wonder, oh, he marries a girl from my same culture. If the girl comes, then you say, oh no, she is taller or she is older than him. She is not good at cooking. My son expects a meal when he comes home. So, and if she's dating a professional, then you say, oh no, he is not right for my daughter because he comes from a different culture. He doesn't socialize, and so on. So, expecting perfection when we ourselves are not perfect. Who loves children more than their parents? But without realizing, parents are becoming their worst enemies when they burden their own children constantly with their verbal, non-verbal scrutiny and keeping them under vigilance with their own expectations. Many children are feeling sad, full of sorrow, and many are undergoing depression. With their intentions with their best intentions actually, due to ignorance, many parents neither sense nor realize the weight their precious ones are feeling. They do not realize what it feels like to live under constant vigilance, criticism, and complaints. In their big spick and span houses, there isn't a place where their young children are allowed to play. Comfortably spread their toys for days, where they are allowed to make and imagine stories and playing them out in physical space. Where are the uncles, aunts, grandparents and cousins gone? Instead of learning tolerance and integration, our children are imbibing a culture of living a perfect life and expecting perfection from others as well, where constant pinpointing, fault finding and negativity in others has become a norm. Human beings are like monkeys. Children mimic the behavior of their elders and parents. Way past we think they have become adults. If we are judgmental, non-accepting and critical of others, our children will also do the same. And very soon, our children's judgment, non-acceptance and being critical will be directed at us. expecting perfection when we are imperfect ourselves. In spirituality, it takes a lifetime to do self-effort and improve the self, only to realize a humble knowing. I really do not know enough. All along, it was the divine that was helping and expressing through me. With infinite energies going in and out our bodies and mind every moment, we are standing in a different reality each moment. I am never the same. I am never perfect. I just am. And in that unique way, I am perfect and whole. Not in some judgment and preconceived idea. In that way, in being different and unique, in each moment I am whole and I am perfect. Then we put our precious children in boxes, making them conditional and conforming to our expectations. So identified we have become with our roles of being a parent that instead of rejoicing a few moments in just being with them, we constantly seek. What do we seek? We constantly seek to protect, enhance, and conform to our own role identity. Way past our children have become adults. In fact, what we are trying is protecting our own identity as parents. We feel and say, I am a parent and I know better. In reality, people are merely clinging to preserving their role identity and very afraid to let it go. All egoic motivations are for self-enhancements. We cleverly disguise them as being really concerned. Most time, parents themselves are not conscious enough to perceive this deception playing out within them. Parents manipulate their children when they say, I want you to achieve all what I couldn't. I want you to be on the top of the world. I want you to be a celebrity. Don't disappoint me. I have sacrificed my life for you. I know what is best for you. Most parents may not be saying it verbally, but underneath their constant demands and expecting perfection is what they are hoping. Underneath what parents are saying is my love is conditional. You have to live your life according to what I say. Else I will make you feel guilty. I know better. In my eyes, so and so is evil, so you better not communicate with him. I want you to become a top tennis player because I couldn't. Unless you fulfill my dreams, you will be shackled to me because you are my child and I own you. Well, you as parents who are listening may not be doing all this. What I have just described. The idea of this is to make you realize how egoic patterns are working in all of us and how these egoic patterns can be dissolved almost instantaneously when we become aware of them. Awareness is our biggest catalyst for a change. In awareness, we find ourselves speaking or thinking like this. We know it is the ego which is working behind. The minute we understand and recognize the ego working through us, the ego disappears. All expectations and all reactions are egoic. Our love and guidance when children are young is natural and also needed. But unconsciously, it becomes a habit when we take our roles far too seriously and far beyond when a purpose is sought. Unconscious habits then become sanskars, which are deeply ingrained mind patterns. All unexamined assumptions, expectations, and reactions ultimately become a great source of our negative thinking, and a lot of parents suffer on account of that. Help, protection, and guidance is definitely needed when children are young. And we introduce them to various activities only to pick up where their interests, talents, or specialities lie, so then we can cultivate them a bit more. With life experiences behind us, we can definitely guide our children at the right time, but making our statements written in stone and expecting them to obey to all our wishes and desires is definitely futile and egoic. All egos eventually die and end, and they result in suffering. What our children need is a space where they can just be, a space where they can comfortably breathe and express themselves in freedom, a space where they are allowed to make their own choices, a space where they are allowed to make their mistakes, a space where they are allowed to be tearful, emotional, and even vulnerable, where they can live and express without any pretensions whatsoever. When they become adults, guide them for sure, but allow them to make their own mistakes and even allow them to suffer. They have come through us, but they are children of life. Everyone comes to life with their own karmic settlements. Then why are they any different than from us? When we have suffered and learned from our mistakes, we have faced our ups and downs, why shouldn't they? Why we need to jump every time to clear their paths, making their life more comfortable and earning and leaving for our not only children, even grandchildren. If we stop and think, we are making our children too sensitive to handle life. If you are one of those if you are a parent and you are listening to this talk and you find your own parents are identified with their roles and smothering you with their love and affection, then educate them about these egoic identifications and politely ask them to back off. Focus on their own life and happiness. Any time in our life, we are allowed to create our life and make it comfortable and happy. By leaving too much material goods and money for our children, we are stripping them of the joy of living. We are depriving them of building their own skills and specialties, which are much needed. We are preventing them from imagining, creating, and living their own life the way they wish to. Beyond fulfilling our basic needs, hoarding money is useless. Saying, I want my grandchildren to run my business is egoic. Your children or grandchildren may not like to be imprisoned in your business empire. Maybe his idea of living life is totally different than yours. You are making your children weak and dependent. You are taking away the opportunity of exploration from them. Learning through suffering and self-effort to build their mental and emotional strength is what they need. Suffering has a noble purpose. In suffering, we go deeper. And in suffering, we realize and we break our identification. We evolve in our consciousness. We learn the power of transmutation and transformation. We ascend in our life. What our children need at any stage of their life is our attention. Attention in a form that is pure and devoid of any expectations. No requirement and no needs from us. Most times they require us to lend them a listening ear. They are not expecting us to jump in action, provide solutions, or give them lengthy discourses. If at all they need your attention or assistance, they would simply ask and so say so. Then in your capacity, you can provide what is needed. And that too within your capacity. Definitely not wise to sell your house or take loans to cater to their desire of buying a latest car. Most times, our smile, a gentle reassurance, recognition of where their specialty and talents lie, our faith and trust in them, our encouragement, a pat on their back for jobs well done is what they need. They are quite capable of living their lives their way. There is a fine line to help and also to let them be. Ultimately, we all have to be free of any emotional ties with any other human being, and that includes any emotional ties with our children as well. Remembering we can only be free after we do our jobs as parents with our good intention and within our capacity, and leaving the rest to divine. We try our best to make them independent and caring human beings. So this is how our settlements, karmic settlements with our children finish. When we perform our duties selflessly, with good intentions and with awareness. Thanks for listening. Lots of love and light to you.